this is pre-calculus. Now our attention to the sketching the graph of trigonometric function. So first we're gonna discuss about graph of sine cosine function. Now we want to sketch a sine cosine function, but this table show trigonometric value of sine cosine on each angle. So here is pi over 6 sine value, pi over 4, pi over 3, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi. So how going to sketch the sine graph? Here is a 0. Radian is 0 is 0. Pi over 2 is maximum. Pi over 2 is maximum. Pi over 2 is 1. That's pi going to 0. 3 pi over 2 is negative 1. 2 pi is 0. That's how connected. So here is we call one cycle here to here. That's the 2 pi, guys. How can sketch the one cycle of sine? Guys, here is a start point x, theta equals 0. Here is the end point, theta is 2 pi. Middle point, middle is pi, guys. Pi is middle point is 0. Pi over to 1/4, 1/4, right? So this one is increasing, that's the maximum point. That's gonna be middle, 0. Here is minimum. 3 pi over 2 is minimum, negative 1. Go back. So you divide 2 pi, divide by 4 period. First quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. That's another way you interpret this graph. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. That's sketch the one cycle of sine. Same idea is cosine, guys. Let's start with 0, same thing. And 2 pi is one cycle. Middle is pi, pi is negative 1. That's the minimum. 1/4 is middle point. That's going to be pi over 2 is 0. Third quarter of period gonna be 3 pi over 2 is 0. That's cosine. Maximum, middle, minimum, middle, maximum. So same thing is here is quadrant 1 angle, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. That's sketch the sine, cosine with one cycle. Guys, make sure understand how can sketch it. Here is a general sketch of sine, cosine. Sine is a start. We did one cycle previous slide. Here is one cycle. That's the 2 pi. One revolution 2 pi, two revolution is 4 pi. But same thing over and over again, sine graph. Same thing is negative. That's the sine graph. What is domain of sine? All real number. Range maximum is 1, minimum is negative 1. Period. Period is, here is one cycle, one revolution, that's the 2 pi. What is the start point? 0 and 0. One cycle, 2 pi, that's going back to 0. Go up, maximum, middle, minimum, and go back. Let's talking about cosine, guys. Cosine is the same idea. Period gonna be 0 and 2 pi. That's one revolution. Here is maximum, middle, minimum, middle, maximum. That's one cycle. But 2 pi, every 2 pi, they have the same cosine value. Domain is all real number. Range maximum is 1. Minimum is negative 1. Period gonna be 2 pi.